Hi, this is the first episode of MTG Talks. This is a podcast that I'm trying out where sort of a podcast that I'm trying out where me and various guests I invite, we talk about Magic the Gathering formats. And so the video that you're seeing right now is actually me and the person I have with me playing Magic. This is Max, aka Jurassic Park. Say hi.
Hey guys.
Basically, even if the person in the podcast that I've invited doesn't know anything about Magic or doesn't know anything about the formats we're going to be talking about, it gives me an opportunity to explain things to them, so it's better, and I can explain it to the audience as well. And since he knew very little about this format going in, we decided we would do a Highlander. So this first video is on a Highlander. So for those of you who don't know, Highlander is and you can see me showing the Nissa because I have a card that's a substitute of it, because I counted 61 and I realized I had the substitute card in there, and I accidentally had shuffled the Nissa into my deck because it's double-sided. And basically it's a singleton format, and it's a minimum of 100 cards in a deck, kind of like Commander. It's a singleton format as in you can only have one copy of any card in a deck except for basic lands. And there's a banned list and a restricted list, but basically that's the long and veiny of it. And so it's a minimum of 100 cards, singleton. So what do you think of the format, J Park?
Highlander.
I
don't really. I think some people are gonna try to sort of make fun of it, or just try to find a loophole in it or something. It's gonna be the most glitchy part of the whole Magic the Gathering, in my opinion.
There are always like you mean like fucking imbalanced.
Yeah, someone's just gonna come up with a giant freaking Nekasar the Mind Razor and say, oh, this is Highlander, but I'm gonna still use this as its commander.
Yeah, and they're
just
not
without the command zone. It's
yeah,
just
without the command zone, so you just put the card in your commander deck.
Make a whole deck around
because it's 100 cards, and then you just have something that it's something that tutors for zombies. Like it gets them out of your deck.
Yeah,
that's what tutoring is.
I don't like that.
And so you get
thing.
Nekasar, and it would
they should just keep it with Commander, and that's it.
Well, Highlander was made before Commander. Commander is called Highlander in Wizards.
Yeah, I know, but
it's called 100 card. It's called 100 card singleton.
Yeah, no, but Commander's like a better version of Highlander. It's like Highlander 2.0. And
yeah,
what do you
exactly.
Want?
It's called Elder Dragon Highlander.
Yeah, I mean, what would you rather have, the iPhone 1 or the iPhone 2?
I'd rather have the iPhone 2, but
exactly.
But if the iPhone 1 could be bigger, because more than 100 cards. I mean, there's sometimes, because there's a card in the game where it's like, during your upkeep, if you have more than 250 cards in your deck, you win. There is an actual card like that, which is an enchantment, and people run those cards in those decks, and they build the decks around it, so they tutor for enchantment so they can get it out, and the deck has like 300 cards. And so...
Aggressively mulligan.
Yeah, aggressively mulligan until you get that one card, and then 59 force in that one card. But that's actually a different strategy, where there's a card where... an enchantment card, I don't remember the name, but where whenever anything deals damage to you, I think, or combat damage or whatever, you may flip up the top card of your library. If it's a land, then prevent that damage. And there was a guy I knew, and he ran a strategy with that deck, which was 59 forests and that card. And he would aggressively mulligan until he got that card. Or if he couldn't mulligan after one card and get it, he would just hope to God he top-decked it. And it was pretty much made it so that everything has to have a win condition. But that has nothing to do with this. In Highlander, yeah, I could see how stuff like that could be really broken, because certain cards that are banned, like certain cards are banned in Commander that are not banned in Highlander, and there's a lot more balancing going on, and it's like... Everything about Highlander that was wrong they at least tried to fix in Commander. I mean, Commander's still pretty fucking broken, but still. Yeah. What about Commander? What do you think of that format?
Honestly, I love it.
Yeah, Commander.
I think it's well thought out, but I think they should come up with something besides the command zone, because I really don't like that. You can just get the amount of mana and play it without it actually being picked.
Yeah, I guess, but I guess that's the point of a commander deck, is that you build around something that you'll always have, because...
Maybe what you could do is you could put it in your deck, or you could put in the command zone, and it costs 4 extra to cast. The first time you cast
or
it.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the 2 extra each time when
Yeah.
you put it back in the command zone. And I guess that's true, but it's a singleton format. You can build decks, like if you were to build a normal deck, a 60-card deck, like 5-color, and you build it around Progenitus, you're going to have 4 Progenituses in there. So you have a good chance of drawing Progenitus. But if you
Not
have
if it's
100
commander.
cards... but not if it's commander. I'm talking about like a normal 60-card deck. If you have 100 cards, your 100 card, and you have 100 card singleton, you only have one of those cards. So you can build a whole deck around Progenitus, but there are no or almost no tutors for Hydras. There's tutors for creatures, but there's almost no tutors for Hydras. And so you can build a deck around Progenitus, but if you don't get it, then what's the point? So people in normal 60-card decks, they build decks around them. And so they wanted to make that a thing that happens here. Because, like, when people in Highlander, they build around... Some people in Highlander, they build around specific sets of legendary creatures or a good combo for their deck. And I guess the people who made Elder Dragon Highlander, they thought that was a good idea. And so you see us here, and I'm playing mono green ramp, and he's playing black white life gain. I happen to not have any sleeves because my sleeves broke and were torn and stuff.
I use Dragon Shield Red.
Yeah, I play Nissa right now. Dragon Shield Red is really nice. I like the blue better, but
I have the blue. That's what my talent of telepath is.
He has a talent of the telepath that's sleeved because he thinks the card is so good. Though the
I
card
don't. I just love it.
Card is only worth like
I don't like
$1.
it for its action.
value.
I just
You
love
just-
it. For some reason, I love it. It's like Elsa.
Yeah, Elsa. He called Elspeth Elsa. And
Yeah, I did that last one on purpose though.
yeah, and I don't have my sleeves because my sleeves are ripped and torn and stuff. Dragon Shield Copper are really nice though.
I've never gotten those.
They're like shiny.
Yeah.
And
The only foil card I have in that deck is Teysa.
you have a foil Teysa?
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it.
It's a foil.
He has a Teysa Envoy of Ghosts. It's not the good commander one because the one that's good in commander is Teysa Ores of Sion.
Yeah.
And people who build decks like that, they build black-white regeneration, they build black-white life gain.
Yeah.
And you build black-white life gain, and then if you build black-white regeneration, you'll probably run Teysa. If you build black-white life gain, you're going to run Obsidat, and it's going to be awful because you're going to be doing Death and Taxes, and Death and Taxes is just terrible because every single thing that anybody tries to do, something really crazy happens. It's like in Cold Snap, if you play a Jester's Cap, which is like the weirdest card ever. It's like exile the top 5 cards of target opponent's library. You may look at them for the rest of the game. And then whenever that player casts a spell, you may, if it has the same name as any of the cards in that pile of exiled cards, you may put that exiled card in the opponent's graveyard and counter that spell. And that's just so weird. But decks that run Obsidat would have that because Obsidat is so weird in how it works.
Yep.
And it can evade just about any spell, so even if they're running a similar strategy to you...
That would suck if mana was spells.
Yeah,
counter
lands
mana.
were spells,
Yeah.
that would be awful. You could counter lands. Then again, that might be good, and especially in Commander, because...
Well,
They're
if lands were
stupidly-
spells,
they're
it'd be very, very, really weird.
Yeah, no, I would say, like, basic lands wouldn't be spells, but normal lands would be spells, because maybe in Commander or Highlander or something, because in Commander and Highlander, lands are everything, because there are some ridiculously broken lands. You have Tolarian Academy, you've got Caracas, the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, Glacial Chasm, all those cards just make it... Caracas especially.
I'm waiting for the double tap.
Oh yeah, he double taps his Scoured Barrens for mana. But Caracas, do you know what Caracas is?
Nope.
It's tap. It's a legendary land and it has tap to add one colorless mana to your mana pool. Also has tap, return target legend or legendary creature, as it's called. They were called legends when the set legends came out. Return target legend to its owner's hand. And the commander is a legendary creature, and if you return it to its owner's hand, unless the person explicitly wants it to be in their hand, it'll go back in the command zone. And I don't know if you can explicitly return it to your hand. I know that you can put it in the
Can you
graveyard or
counter
exile
it from the
pile.
command zone?
I think so. I think you can counter it because that
So it'd be better if you returned it to your hand.
because that counts as casting it.
Yeah, so it'd be better if you just returned it to your hand, because then you could play it for the regular mana.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can do that. I know that you can choose to put it in the graveyard or exile pile if you want to, like Obsidat, because you can remove that
Yeah.
and then put it back.
I would have done a Void Squall on Melik when I I was playing with your deck.
Yeah,
but
we were
I
playing.
just didn't because I didn't. I had caused too much confusion.
Yeah, we were playing.
Yeah.
We were playing format, what we like to call format versus format, and it was basically.
Commander versus
It was Commander versus
standard.
Modern.
Standard.
It wasn't
modern.
standard actually.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was like mostly Gate Crash and
Yeah.
Born of the Gods, and those have rotated out of standard. Standard's the most recent. Modern is
Yeah, I got it.
all beyond 8th edition, and we were playing format versus format, and so I was using Commander rules and he was using Modern rules, but we were playing against each other. So I was playing because we only had one Commander deck. Because Commander decks are expensive. And
Broken as fuck though.
yeah, I was playing Commander. It was actually pretty balanced between the two decks. It actually made for some good fun, but it was a quick game because we just sort of annihilated each other each time. The Commander deck was Melik Izzet Paragon, the classic budget one, like from MTG Goldfish, that website. It has like a budget Commander deck and it has Melik Izzet Paragon or Izzet, whatever. I don't remember how it's pronounced, but it's kind of funny the way everything, but like the way everything worked in that game because.
What time did Porterhouse call you?
Porterhouse. Oh yeah, Porterhouse is one of our friends. His name is Jason. I think he has a YouTube. He called me. I think he calls me pretty soon. But because like I'll slam down on the table and then I'll run off to go answer the call, and yeah, there we go. Now I answer the call, and. You motherfucker! What the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
He fucking. Are you mana fixing? You fucking mana fixed while I was gone. Well, he spoiler alert, he beat the crap out of me at the end of this game, but because he used Fated Retribution when I had like 13 creatures out and I would have destroyed
And Nissa.
And
Mass Calcify wouldn't work there.
And so. Well, Mass Calcify would have worked.
No, because it's not a creature; it's a planeswalker.
Oh yeah, you're right. Jesus. And that's the thing about Fated Retribution. It also lets you scry.
The only thing about that doesn't really make it. It was cheating, yeah, but the only thing about that doesn't really make it that bad. Was the 2 swamps that I cheated in didn't really make that much of a difference.
Yeah, they were swamps also. If you would add,
one of them was a plains, one of them was swamps.
It's kind of funny how if we were playing Commander and if you used other lands or even basic lands like Commander because those are somewhat valuable, if you use those, it would have really been bad because lands are extremely important in Commander.
Yeah,
because
what happened was I played Fated Retribution with Crypt Gaston, so I had a bunch of swamps already on. So what I did was I only added one more swamp, which that turn I didn't even use. So I had the unnecessary swamp because Fated Retribution plus Cryptcast, I had a ton of swamps plus Cryptcast doubles your swamps, and then I had Fated Retribution, which only costed 7 mana, which I had some other planes and Scorn Barons. I think this is it.
Wait, where he does the
This is it.
He double taps.
No, I don't. This isn't it.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Wait.
Maybe it is actually. No, it's not. It's not.
No, it's not.
But
it didn't really make that much of a difference because the Fated Retribution was the only thing that really mattered.
Yeah, it really changed the game, and it was terrible for me.
The only bad thing was I killed my Cryptcast.
But lands are really important because you have any of you people out there who play Angus Mackenzie as Commander. Angus Mackenzie is a Bant card, so he's green, white, blue. It's my favorite combination of 3 colors is the Bant, which is one of the shards of Alara, and of the plane. And he's a Bant card, and he has the ability to pay 1 of each of white, blue, green, and it makes no creature do any damage during a combat step, and you tap him. And the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale does the same thing, but it's a legendary land, and it constantly has that. No creatures do any damage during the combat step. During combat, no creatures deal any damage.
Is there a creature that can deal damage during another turn? Like that can attack during an opponent's upkeep?
I don't think so. There are creatures that can cause you to have another combat step. Aurelia, the War Leader, makes it so that when she attacks with other creatures, I think it's like this, or maybe it's when she attacks alone. No. She's not the one with Exalted. It's when she attacks with other creatures. Untap all creatures at the end of that combat step, and there's an additional combat step after that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's really powerful. Especially if you're running like
what's going on here?
White, red. That's where you're looking at my Nissa.
Yeah, Nissa. All right.
Because I put the die down.
That's when he had his Nissa up.
And I'm just destroying him with creatures.
Yeah, and I keep on tapping my Soul Menders for
and
life.
And he keeps on tapping his Soul Menders for life.
What's the only thing I could do?
Yeah, it's the only thing you could do, but you could have also blocked more.
I didn't want to block.
It would
Those Soul
not have
Menders
been
were helped.
Yeah, but it wouldn't not have equalized. You still...
Yeah, I guess I could have, but I didn't really want to lose those Soul Menders.
Yeah,
honestly,
I guess so.
I drew that Faded
but you
Return
wouldn't-
just as I was about to play Crypt Gas and do something else.
You Faded Retribution.
Yeah.
You said that you had that the whole time.
Yeah.
I lied.
No, yeah. No, I picked No, the game before that.
And I think
I had the whole time.
Did you Tithe Drinker here? I think you Tithe Drinkered.
Yeah, that's a Tithe Drinker.
Yeah, that's a Tithe
Right
Drinker.
I gained 3 there.
And I hate Tithe Drinker. It's like the best card ever. But
Oh, wait, no, was that
like the worst
Kingpin
card.
Pet?
No, Kingpin's Pet was with a Tithe Drinker.
Right.
Because you revived it from
Right,
the
yeah.
with
All right, yep.
Because he played Whip of Erebos, you could probably see that on the field.
Yeah.
That's right, and that's 2 spaces in front of his deck. And played Whip of Erebos, and that's awful.
Well, see, what I
It's
did
an
there is
awful
I
card.
played the Death Magus after the Tithe Drinker, and I was trying to get like Tommy to understand that I gained 2 life from Tithe Drinker
Yeah.
instead of. No, I gained 3 life instead of 2 because I had 2 Death Magus, Staff of Death Magus, and 1 Staff
So
of
the
Sun
Sun
Magus.
Magus. But that's later. Actually, you don't have both of those. At the,
Oh,
at
no.
this time.
Oh, yeah, then I must have been the 2, 1 Death, and 1 Sun.
And he also what does he do? Oh, yeah, I was gonna talk about the legendary enchantment artifacts because for one, there's not ones for any of the weapons of the other gods except for the main 5, which I really didn't like because some of the weapons of the other gods were really cool, like Iroh's shield, Mogus's axe, or freaking Xenagos has like that, or Xenagos has like that lantern thing that he has.
Oh, beware my mighty lantern.
Yeah, and he also has like a bowl of fire. And nothing about Xenagos, but legendary enchantment artifacts. I feel like that
Faded
was
Return?
something. No, I don't think so. That was something that's just so weird. Legendary enchantment artifacts. The concept of having something like that is just really weird because like I get it's a legendary artifact, but it's also an enchantment
This is it.
because nobody's done enchantment
I think
artifacts.
this is it.
This is it. I think.
At that point, I tapped.
Yeah, and we lost it. We like actually
Here
lost it.
goes Tommy's head poking in.
Yeah,
there it goes.
You can see me look at
This is
you can
part
see
where
me
we
look at the
lose it because
computer
he tried to
and
double tap his land for me.
and I think my mom's coming down, but and you can see me looking at the camera and I'm saying like this is the part where we lose it because he tried to double tap his land for mana.
It was tapped, and I tried to tap it again. And I was, I didn't know that it was already tapped, so I tapped it, and I realized why is it upside down?
Yeah. You're just like, oh, would you look at that? And I'm looking at his cards now, and I'm being like, I hate you because he's playing just stuff. I don't know when you play the Faded
I
Retribution.
think it's next turn.
I
or
got
something.
it-
It was after I played Cryptcast. That
I
might have
was-
been Cryptcast.
I was in South Carolina.
No, that was That's Cryptcast.
I was in South Carolina at Magic Origins pre-release, and I got a foil Alhemerit High Arbiter, and this guy really wanted it, and so in exchange for it, he bought me 3 packs of Born of the Gods because because that was just the one that I wanted, and because I was looking for a couple of cards from Born of the Gods, and I cracked a Fanatic of Xenagos, a Faded Retribution, and one other card I can't remember, but those weren't my rares. Those were just the good ones that I happened to get, and and I got a Whelming Wave, I think, which is pretty bad, but it's okay. And I cracked a Faded Retribution from it. It was awesome. I don't know where it is now, but he had a Faded Retribution in his deck, and okay, and I gotta not let my cat out. Get back here, J Park. He just left the thing to go say hi to my cat. And apparently my cat is now in the podcast.
Say hi.
And
Josie, say hi.
And now my
No.
cat Josie's just running on. Let go.
Bye. She left.
She like slammed her head against the table. But
Yeah, she's dead now.
but yeah, she. But
Alright.
but yeah, legendary enchantment artifacts are such a weird concept, and I don't know how that relates to Highlander or Commander, but I guess it kind of does because you can get legend tutoring because anything that tutors for legendary things.
Watch here, folks. This is the point of where I fuck Tommy.
Yeah. You can tutor for. You can have it tutor for.
I take 16 damage because I need all my mana.
Yeah.
I need that Cryptcast.
You can
So what
tutor
happens
any
here
mid
is
fingers
I
any
tap
mid
a lot of my mana.
and and I double tap it, and he mid fingers me, and then he central fingers me, and why did you?
And I tap all of that for Faded Retribution.
And he plays Faded Retribution, and I just like cry.
All of his things die.
And we're scooping up, and we're playing like silently this whole time.
Yeah.
But you can tutor for artifacts, you can tutor for enchantments, and you can tutor for legends. So all three of those things can tutor to get a legendary enchantment artifact. And so the concept of that, it's like a colored artifact. So it's really weird. It's like playing Send triplets. Send triplets are a
I loved that part.
yeah, Send triplets are a
The whole board is just white.
yeah, Send
Good
triplets.
part is I still have my Path of Bravery and my Whip of Erebos.
Yeah, and Send triplets.
Dude.
Are you done yet?
Oh,
Send triplets in Commander is really weird because it's a colored artifact creature. It's an artifact creature, yet it does have a color. I think it's Esper. Actually, I think it's an Esper card, which is white, blue, black. I like to say no WBB, no WWE. It's World of Warcraft.
He's got his last and final Spore Mound, right?
Yeah,
Or no?
I only have 3 in that deck.
Pissed me off.
Yeah, it pissed him off, but he
No,
eventually
you
just
have 4.
destroyed me. No, I have.
You
I
had
have
3. You had 3 before the Faded Retribution. That's your last one.
No, I had 2. It's just there was a
Oh right, the enchantment.
the enchantment
wolf
that was on.
enchantment. Yeah, all right, yeah.
I don't remember what Raised by Wolves I think it was called.
Yeah.
But back to Commander. The concept of having a commander in the command zone in Commander.
What did I play here?
Wow, I just did that, didn't
What?
I? The concept of having a commander in the command zone in Commander. It's really a weird.
What did I play there? I think I played Path of Bravery.
Yeah, I think you did.
'Cause those are my staffs.
Yeah.
That's my Whip of Erebos, and that's my Path of Bravery.
Yeah, and so and the concept of
And then I
having
fingered him.
your command. The concept of having a commander in the command zone of Commander is nice, and is it's weird because it enables like you to build a deck around something, because before, when you built a deck around certain cards, you'd build it subjectively, because you'd build it not only with those certain cards, but you'd also build it with stuff that could stand on its own, or things that were multi-purpose that worked well with that thing and stand on its own. But now you don't have to do that anymore. You can build a deck with exclusively cards that only work well with that commander, because you can get that commander out at any time. Even if it's 2 more mana, you have something like Sig River Guide, who's 1 white and 1 blue, and he's a legendary creature, which is a great commander. It's so weird. He's like a 2/2. No, I think he's a 1/1 island walk, and he has pay 1 and a white target creature. The target merfolk gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. And so he's very multi-purpose. He's very open source. He's very multi-purpose. And so, but he only costs 2 mana. So it's easy to play. Same thing I played a little while ago. I played Anafenza Kintree Spirit. And I didn't really build around her as a commander as what she did, like the heroic I think she has, but I built, but she was only 2 white, and so I built mono
At this
white.
point, I have my Typhoid Rats and
This is the power of
what is
Faded
that? What is
Retribution.
that next to it?
That is that's like the lifelink. That's like the
That's
lifelink renown thing.
Yeah, that's a war leader or hero or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
It's a 3/3 with lifelink and
it's-
renown 2.
Yeah, I think it's renown 1.
Oh, so he's got 2.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But
And so that makes
no,
that
he became. Yeah,
No,
you're
he
right.
didn't- he wasn't renowned.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I
He was
just
never
got the
renowned.
Mark of the Vampire out.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, but I built around Anafenza, and I used the Kamigawa Kamis and and all the weird Kamigawa cards that had to do with spirits and arcanes, that I could build a spirit and arcane based deck. And I didn't end up buying the deck, but it ended up really cool. I don't know what
My fingers are going like this.
I don't know what he was doing. He was just sort of, we were talking about something, I guess, and he was just twiddling his thumbs or something. Oh no, you were talking about like how much life he would lost. So you
Yeah,
were like holding
yeah.
it up, and so I usually control the life pad, but this time he had the pad for life. He controlled the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the dungeon master.
Yeah.
It was the Magic the Gathering Dungeon Master. Somebody should make that like a format that's
Yeah.
based around Dungeons and Dragons for Magic the Gathering. Because I mean, Magic the Gathering is like a Dungeons and Dragons card game. I mean, it's the same
I think I was
company
back
at
up
this
to
point.
50 or something,
Almost
40 or
both.
something health.
Yeah, and I have 9 forests and a spore mound, and I have nothing that I can do because I keep drawing forests, and I have like 30 cards left in my deck.
Of course, I think
You've practically milled me out. My mother, you can see in the background. And like the game is winding down
Josie,
here, and it's really getting bad. But Commander is also a singleton format, and it's built, and you start with 40 life. The game is meant to last long, and you have that penalty of the Commander costing 2 colorless more to cast for each time that you play him out of command zone. So you also have balances. So like the system of checks and balances in the government. You have balances. At least they tried. At least the creators of Commander tried with Elder Dragon Highlander. They tried They tried to make a format that was at least somewhat balanced as to the very imbalanced rules that it had. And so as for that, they ended up making it the games last like an hour longer because the games are based around politics and multiplayer play with like 5 players, and then each player has 40 life and a 100 card deck with a commander and a huge mana cost and the banned cards and all that. And so the game ends up lasting really long. I don't know if that was a plan by the developers of Commander,
Maybe.
but
Probably a hook.
probably through their bound. What was that?
A hook and bait.
Okay. Probably through a
Or a bait and hook, I don't know.
yeah, probably like a hook, line, and sinker. I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know what
That's
it
a
means.
novel.
No,
gonna
hook,
go
line,
to
and
Josie.
sinker. No, get out. No, but like there's like a,
Josie.
it's like a, and my cat just like tried to kill him. And so, and like that's an issue of balancing. Like they tried to balance
There's
something.
Briar Pack Alpha.
Yeah.
She's showing to the screen and I can see it.
Yeah, there's something. Yeah, he looks at the screen and I get really pissed. And I
had 6 mana. If I had 1 more, I would have used Mass Calcify.
yeah, he would have mass calcified me. And, well, you do end up mass calcifying me, and which destroys everything, and then I end up losing. And that happens in about
to be honest, you would have
9
lost either
minutes.
way.
Yeah,
I can keep that up.
even without the mass calcify, even without the swamp and the plains that you cheated in, as long as you had that Fated Retribution, you still would have won.
I would no, because I had enough.
If you had the mass
while I
calcify,
played the Fated Retribution, I didn't play it. I played everything like but 1 swamp or something.
if you played the mass calcify and you still cheated in the swamp and the plains, I still would have had Nissa, so I would have won because she was 1 turn away from having the 6/6/6 elementals.
Yeah, which I was really scared about.
Yeah, and so it pretty much everything boils down to you could have had a perfect hand, but as long as you didn't have that Fated Retribution, you probably would have lost. But that's the beauty of that deck. I mean, it's built because if you hold out until you can finally get that clutch moment where you get Fated Retribution, because you were basically holding out, you were defending, and you were doing as much as you could until you got that clutch play.
Because the good thing about my deck is there's not a lot of creature, so it's not a lot of loss. It's just a lot of life.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I don't know how I do it. It's just a mix of everything that gives me a lot of life.
That's kind of insulting, though. I mean, I just sort of said you were bad at the game, but
Basically.
the Fated Retribution saved you, but you're not. I mean, the
No,
deck.
it did.
I always lose to his deck. I mean, his deck is just impenetrable, and I think if you played Commander like Obsidat or something, or if you played Teysa,
Obsidat's
your envoy
expensive.
of Ghost Teysa, if you played that as your commander, you could probably go somewhere.
Maybe. I'd have to have.
I really want to play blue-green commander like Ramp, but
It'd be hard to make.
really don't have the money, and blue-green is my favorite combination of colors. But I like Krufix and Momir Vig and Master Biomancer, fantastic, but they're really expensive. And then green.
At this point in the game, you can just realize that I'm gonna win. He's lost all his creatures. I have something with flying that he can't block. He's at like. Some point he's at like 9 or 7 at this point. I have the extort with my Kingspin pad. There's no way he can win here.
Yeah, and
I'm at like 77.
and that
or
really
something.
blows a big one. And yeah, it's getting to the end of the video, and I guess that's if you were to play that, that's nice. And Momir Vig and Master Biomancer And then I also tried to build a deck like on MTG Goldfish just as a pricer, just to see what happened. I built a deck around the Bant colors, white, blue, green, which is my favorite combination of 3 colors. Get back here. He keeps walking away from my. Don't. He's walking away to go pet my cat who does not want to be pet.
I'm trying to get over here so she can end the video for us.
No.
Josie, say meow.
She snorted. That was a big fu from across the room. Say meow. Fuck you.
Hey Jeff, say meow. Fuck you.
Yeah, and oh yeah, it's the saying. And I built white, green, blue, the Bant colors, and I ended up using one of the Elder Dragons. Do you know the white, green, blue Elder Dragon? It's Arcades Sabbath, and he's pretty awesome. And I realized that
Arcanus the Omnipotent.
I wanted him. Arcanus the Omnipotent is an okay.
Fucking insane.
He's insane,
Okay?
but he's an okay commander.
He does what for 5 mana?
He's
He
an
can
okay
just tap.
He's an okay commander, but
Yeah.
he's insane as a card.
He's not an attacker. He's a drawer.
Like me. I mean, I had
That's all I face palms.
I had a mono blue card advantage deck that just wrecked everyone's shit, except for, of course, Jurassic Park says he always would fucking beat it, but every time. And
Single time.
and
Every single time.
and I built that, and I built with Arcades Sabbath, and I realized that having him attack alone with that Exalted from Rafik of the Many, who was also the Bant colors, I could really put to my advantage. So I had an Exalted theme deck. I also had some tokens.
About one more video in the video.
No, there's way more than that.
Really?
Also, yeah,
It ends there though.
it ends there, but it ends at like 36 minutes, dude.
Alright, I guess
And we're at 32, and so I had that, and I ended up with that thing, and I also had Feldegriff, like my friend calls it Feldehippo, because I built the deck with him. Happy Devon 6. I made a couple videos with him, and
Which Devin is that?
from my school.
Alright.
We go to a different high school now. We drifted apart from each other. And I'm like, gay black man, he just said. He just uttered that very good phrase to me. And I played that, and I had Feldehippo, who's a really nice politics commander. Because politics is a huge thing, like being the target, or you being able to target other people. You don't want to be the target in the game. You want to have people want to be on your side. You want to have people buff you. Want to have people make strategies that build around evading you as part of the strategy, because they want you to keep on. Because like with the Feldegriff, he basically has these tap abilities where it gives him abilities, but it also benefits the other player, like a trade. Like
Sovereign.
like the person gets trample. This, like, you can tap a green to give Feldegriff trample, and
What happened?
it puts a 1/1 hit. And no, it's just us admitting that I'm gonna lose. And it's
Best card 2K50.
and it gives him trample, and it puts a 1/1 hippo token into play. He has blue. It gives him like flying, and target player draws a card, and then he has white, gives him +1/+1, and target opponent gains 2 life, and all these are target opponent gets these things, and so it's a trade-off, and it really gives it that. And if you don't attack with him, then you're not using any of those benefits, so you can really get a good politics-driven game out of it. And can you give the sum up
So basically,
here?
you're bribing.
Yeah, basically. Can you like Waka Hazid? But we'll talk about that later. Can you sum it up here?
BD.
I hate Highlander.
He hates Highlander, and you like Commander better, don't you?
Commander, I do like Commander, but I feel like decks should be more focused on not just the Commander, but the cards that surround the Commander.
Yeah,
What does this do?
and like the Commander mechanic.
And also, if you're facing a mono green ramp deck, always have Faded Retribution at hand.
Yeah, just have it like in sideboard or something.
Yeah.
Could you
If you can get 4 Faded Retributions, it's somewhat expensive. But if you can get 4 of those, just pop them in your sideboard. And if you're playing against mono green ramp, you'll
appreciate it.
Appreciate it, yeah. It's very.
Also, always cheat out 2 land.
You always cheat out 2 land.
When your friend goes to get called from Jason.
Play Bant cards in Commander. Play Arcades Sabbath, and
You lose 2.
And never play against life gain decks because they suck.
Black Lotus.
He had like 77 life. You had 77
I
life
had
at the
83
end of the
at
game.
the end. No,
He
I
had
had
80.
83.
He had 83
I just didn't
life.
count it because we already.
He had 83 life at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that was just
Fell
that
at
was
our
awful. And
suffering.
there's me looking at the
Well, I gained
Looking at the,
7 life, -1 +1. So
at the
7.
camera,
So I am at
and
70
I'm
life.
saying that it's
It's over.
-1
that it's really
We got 1 minute
Impeccable,
left
man.
in the game. I got like 77 life at this point.
Hey,
I got some guys out. I got. I know I have That one's Kingpin Pet. The Kingpin's Pet, and then I got
you
Wall.
got the cleric guy, the Phyrexian
Yeah,
cleric guy,
Yeah, that's the Phyrexian Cleric guy, and then the
And then a
Inquisitor
and then a
Exarch.
and then the Tithe Drinker.
No, that's not Tide Drinker. That's that's the Tide Drinker, but the one in the middle, that's the Wall of Essence,
I would play
Yeah.
which gives me life like
I would
whatever
play
this
Market
creature blocks.
Festival.
Yeah,
It gains that much
Champ
life.
Land.
yeah. So that's the thing, and this is
It-
where this is where it winds down. And we were actually talking at the camera this whole time because we expected the voiceover to end quicker, but
Yeah.
this ended up happening.
And there he
so.
extends his hand.
I'm going to attack
And
this.
so
back the
he extends the turn, and he draws, and then we would have extorted, and then he
Or just
reveals
extort
that,
it,
and,
it's done.
That's the game.
and we clean up, and that's the game.
All right.
So-
Well, thanks for watching,
That is what
guys.
happens
Yeah,
when you
thanks
get
for watching.
Fated
Yeah,
Retribution.
that's what happens when you get Fated Retribution. See you.
Good guys.